Good morning, and it is a bloody frosty Saturday morning, hence extension leads and heaters everywhere. Mediocre's up on the bench, and already made a start the other day. My front little indicator wasn't working, and it was a broken wire in there, which I've sorted out. But I've also found that look how disgusting this is. The LEDs top and bottom on my headlamp aren't working, which is the position light, side light, park light, whatever you want to call it. And it's controlled by the switch, which means because Mediocre's in for MOT next week, realistically they need to work. So all the backlights are working. I've checked out all the wiring here. This is the trouble when you lose your fairing. You end up with a big ball of wire that used to sit snugly and lovely in your fairing with your fuse box and everything, and the wire used to travel down with the fairing and into the frame, and it was all beautiful. Now I haven't got any of that. It's all just stuffed here, which in the short term I thought would be fine. In the long term, realistically probably need to do something about it, but I don't know what. Anyway, fix the indicator, and I think the next coupling I've got for the position light is within this lump of tape and wire. So now I'm going to delve into that and see if it's in there. If it's not in there, the LEDs are actually broken, which for what I've had with LEDs is unusual. Usually you'll get one or two of the diodes die, so it's an uneven light before they ever die completely. So I think it might be something in this bundle here. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to strip that out. Been testing stuff. What I didn't do was a wiring diagram, and there's a couple of bits that fooled me. This green wire, for instance, I'm pretty sure that's to a fuel gauge that I don't have because I've got a small Cosso dashboard clock, whatever you want to call it, now, which doesn't have that. This is for a warning light, whereas the Cosso has a gauge, so that's obsolete. That fooled me. I've been testing that, and obviously I don't need it, so that took me on a wild goose chase. And then this earth lead, which these are the two wires for the position light, park light. Again, call it what you like. This is the power lead for it, the brown. The black and white is the earth for it, but I don't need that because the light itself has its main earth running with the main wires in that group there. Can you see that? Let's torch the area. I do love the smell of napalm in the morning. There. So that's the main earth coming from the headlamp. So this earth is unnecessary. So again, that sent me on a wild goose chase. There's definitely power getting to here. So it is from this red wire here back to the headlamp that isn't working properly. So that's what I'm going to do. Strip it all down and see what I can find. I won't bore you with me trying to get all that tape off of there. I'll bring you back if I discover something, or if I don't. Wires off, dickhead. Tape's off, headlights off, and a broken wire is not good. In this world of wireless things, my position lights aren't one, so that's what wants reconnecting, I would believe. And I'm going to do it with these things, and I'll use a red one because it's a red wire. Is that how they work? I think that's how they work. So I'll strip these wires down and solder them together. test it, stick it all back together, and then give the bike a bloody good clean. Right, strip these wires back, and then solder them up. Yeah, Mediocre's in a very disgusting state before Christmas. I took him out. The roads around here were quite dry. I was going over to my mate's house, and as I got closer to his house, it was quite apparent they had some rain recently, and the old roads were a terrible mess, to the point where the back tyre was flicking moisture right up onto my head, which was, I don't know, fairly amusing, I think. Oh, put the soldery bit on first. I don't think I've got enough wire here to push it on. No. It's quite a crusty wire, to be fair. Yeah, so Mediocre got smothered, and probably as protest smothered me in the process with the small mudguard on the front and pretty much no mudguard on the back, no water suppression as such. You've got like a double arc of water coming at you, and in the sunlight it does look like a double rainbow. Which is quite a good feature, I think. Let me know. Oh, I still haven't put the bloody thing on. I ain't had my breakfast or nothing yet. It's a Saturday morning, so usually we treat ourselves, because we are lazy and fat, which is the Western way. We treat ourselves. The local cafe delivers. That's not working. It's kind of working. I think when I bring this sheath back, it's gonna take it apart. There you go. Knew it. I think that might be a bit long, so let's trim that down. Like that. Yeah, so I am a bit hungry. I don't know if there's any fat people watching, but this ain't going to work, is it? This is too small. Let's get over that. Pretty much there. I think I do need a bit more red wire poking out. Ah. Yeah, these quick solder things are really convenient. But the sizes don't really help. This one wants to be just that little bit bigger. Let's try that way again. No. yeah, the sheath itself wants to be that little bit bigger to get over it. That ain't gonna work. Let's not use that, because the next size up that I've got is a blue one, which is massive. Should I try it? Should I stay or should I go now? If I stay there will be trouble. No. If I go there will be trouble. If I stay... No. Give up. Give up. Probably should give myself a bit more on the debris itself. Should have cut the end off of it first. Bit more there. Right, there we go. So as I say, I'm going to use a red one, and then I'll put a blue one on. Get my soldering iron up to temp. Temp is short for temperature, if you didn't know. It's just learning stuff. So yes, that's all in line. Give that a minute and then solder this on and test the light. Right. Soldering iron up to temperature, I think. Definitely should have done it the old-fashioned way. Right, I'm just going to leave that. I'm fairly sure that's okay. Yeah, that's stuck it. That's stuck it to it. Right, so what do we want now? The earth's not connected. Oh, on the other end of the wire, because I took the connector off here. I want another connector on there, which goes to the power lead there. So that's just a spade connector. Call a spade a spade. I'll get one of those. Right. Put some heat shrink on. Don't know why. Just put some on. What I really need is a proper crimper. Right, I'm going to connect that. I'm going to. There's nothing you can do about it. Wait, good. Stop watching the video, I suppose. Right, that should make me happy. Ignition on. Light switch. Oh, look at that. My LEDs are working. I hate electrics, yet I'm a natural. Right, use a soldering iron to melt that down, melt that heat shrink down, and then shitloads of insulation tape of the black variety to cover all manner of sins. Yes, that's the way forward. Let me just speed that up for you. Right, wrong size. Heat shrink won't go small enough, but it's getting black taped anyway. Anyway, do you know? Oh, do you know what I mean? It's just, I don't know how to explain it. I probably shouldn't be doing any of this bike building malarkey, because I'm a bit of a shortcut animal. But it's my bike, and if I ever sell it, I'll tell people where to find the videos, and I'll tell them to watch the videos before buying. The material stuff that you can put around it, or indeed you can buy the plastic, like corrugated sort of stuff that's got the slit down the middle that you can put it all in. But I've got such a small amount of room in the back here, because obviously, excuse me, obviously the steering has to go round and hit the lock. Not the lock, the stop. Ah, breakfast time. See you later. That was a very tasty breakfast. Nice sausage and egg sandwich. Nice big mug of tea. Just what I needed. And Tesco's turned up, so I've had my shopping delivered. That's all put away. So all my, well, was it eating a breakfast a chore? No, that was nice. Anyway, the things I've got to do indoors are done. The things I've got to do out here are not done. Connections are on, they're working, needs taping up, headlight needs to go back on. So I'll do a bit of that. And I'll speed it up because you won't want to see all of that. And yeah, I'll do some of that then. Right, that's about where it's going to be. I want a couple of cable ties on there, pull it away from the steering stop. And that's about it, probably. Right, I'll get some cable ties. Without filming, I just got on with that, because I mean, putting cable ties and putting a headlamp with a couple of bolts on ain't nothing astonishing, apart from the fact that I made the brackets. Anyway, cables are tidied away, cable tied, headlights back on loosely. I've got to set the height on that. I think it's about there. But before I go much further, I just want to check everything. So, put the ignition on. We've got the lights. So that's my position lights, park lights, whatever we want to call the lights. Main beam, high beam, and then the other problem I had was this indicator. There you go. They are so bright. They're tiny. They're like 50 quid each, these indicators, but they're so bright. So that is Oh, horn. That works. Okay, so as far as I'm concerned, the lighting is back to MOT standards. The mounting point of the indicators is here and here, which is, I think they're meant to be 240 mil apart at minimum, and the rear ones are 160 mil apart, which mine are just about. Got one there and one there, and as I say, look at the state of it. Just needs a proper clean. Chain started to rust a little bit. I am disgusting, but I've done so much with the camper van, and as I say, the last time I went out on Mediocre, poor old fella got drowned, so got to expect some spots of dodginess here and there. But overall, for an 03 plate, mutilated, customised, made gorgeous GSXR 1000, he looks stunning, and he goes like a jet fighter. So anyway, that's what that was all about. Got my electrics done, lights and indicators all working, so now I'm going to take the calipers off, clean them up. That'll probably be another video, or I won't even bother with that. I've done so many videos of that. And then clean. So yeah, thanks for watching. Hope that was of some interest. Long time since I've done anything on Mediocre. So yeah, there's so much I want to do. Probably a new mudguard. I'm not so sure I'm keen on this anymore. Maybe slightly bigger. Yeah, anyway, there's so many bits I want to do. I looked into the idea of a twin headlight setup as well, but I think that would be too bug-eyed. Look, see? Look, I did a cardboard cutout of 2 of those headlamps, but I think it'd be too much on the front. Don't know. Let me know what you think. That was one idea. Different bracketry. The bracketry would come off the fork then, and would emulate, simulate, copy, ape the subframe. So similar sort of angle going upwards like that, and then yeah, twin it. Anyway, that's pipe dream. As I say, I've got so much to do. The Corona I want to do all the bearings on, because I'm not sure of any of its history or anything. But yes, there you go. That's Mediocre, almost ready for the MOT. The brakes are working fine. That it just, I went out in the shit weather and they need a clean. So I'm going to clean them. And do something with that chain. I used wax on it, which is still on there, and has saved, because usually it's these side links that rust. It's the rollers that have rusted. Just lack of use. Probably if I was to go out for a ride, they'll all be shiny again and lovely, but as I say, I've got to clean it up. Look at the state of the suspension. I've got to give it a good clean. Poor old Mediocre. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope that was of some interest. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. If you want, leave us a comment. Good, bad, indifferent, horrible comments. They're all welcome. Freedom of speech is a big thing for me, so you crack on and say what you want. It's like the vents. I've got to do something with the, not vents, intakes. I bet there's some right old big bugs in the old airbox. But there you go. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you again. Ta-ra.